Okay. Good evening, everyone. So today, lesson number 10, we'll talk about Ahituka Chaita. Chaita without root, Chaita without root. So last week, last Monday, we talk about mental process. If you want to know about Ahituka Chaitas, I think you must know mental process, this mental process. If you know it, I think not very easy to understand. Very easy to understand. Last Monday we talked about sense door process, mental process. Normally, we have a three type of consciousness. So the first, first of all, you need to know three type of consciousness. So the first one is called rebirth linking, rebirth consciousness. So rebirth consciousness is the first chaita arises in our life. Another one is called death consciousness. So death consciousness will be the last chaitas that will arise. In our life for the last time. In between, we have a life continuum, Bhavanga Chaita. So these three are a stable state of mind. So it going stably. So that is called life continuum or Bhavanga. But here, Bhikkhu Bodhi translate life continuum. Life continuum means Bhavanga Chaita is important chaitas in our life that make continuation in this life. Because of Bhavanga Chaitas, because of that Bhavanga Chaitas, our life continue. For that reason, it's called Bhavanga, the important chaitas in our life. So it going stably. But here, Rupakatin, he translates as a existence continuum. Actually, it's the same. It is a stable state of mind. When our senses hear me, eye, sensitivity, ear, nose, tongue, the body, and the mind. So when our senses come in contact with outside object, then that existence continuum, life continuum vibrate, shaking. Suppose our eye, so in our mind, so life continuum going stably and quietly. So when my eye have contact with something outside, so that life continuum vibrate, shake. That is called vibration of Bhavanga. Then after that, our mind turn to that object. So that is called adverting. Our mind advert to the object that we see. That is called adverting consciousness. Then after that, eye consciousness, then receiving consciousness, investigating consciousness, and determining consciousness. Then after the mind determines the object, then the mind will experience fully, with the full of power. That's called impartial. In Pali, it's called javana, impartial. So our mind fully experience the object that we see. That's called impartial. So actually here, impartial is very powerful mental state. So at that mental state, we have a kusala or akusala, or kriya functioning. Three types of citta will arise: impulsion, javana. If the object that we see is so strong, then after seven mind movement, of impulsion or javana, so another two mind movement called retention. So retention will take the same object. So the same object here means thing that we see. So it's called retention. Actually, two retention citta is not very powerful. Not powerful, just like an impulsion or javana. Then after two retention cittas, then our mind fall back to bhavanga again. Then next time, when our ear have contact with the sound, then our bhavanga will vibrate again. Then the mind will advert to the sound. That is called adverting consciousness. Then after that, ear consciousness will arise. Then after that, receiving, investigating, determining, impulsion, retention, then fall back to bhavanga again. It goes like this. Here, when we talk about adverting consciousness, so last week I already explained two types of adverting. So when adverting consciousness open the door in the five physical doors. The when the mind open the door, the eye, ear, nose, the tongue, the body, these are five physical doors. So that is called five adverting consciousness. Five door adverting consciousness. Then sometime how to say the mind open the door. The mind is called mind adverting consciousness, mind door adverting consciousness. So we have two types of adverting consciousness: five door adverting consciousness, mind door adverting consciousness. Then after that, 10 sense consciousness. 10 sense consciousness. Here, 10 sense consciousness here me. So we have a two type of eye consciousness. When you see unpleasant things, so that is as a receptor unwholesome karma. That is one type. So that is called unconsciousness as a receptor of unwholesome akusala karma. So when you see wholesome things, when you see pleasant things, that is because of kusala karma. So at that time, another unconsciousness will arise. So here we have two types of unconsciousness. When you see good things, because of good karma. When you see bad things, because of bad karma. Then unconsciousness as a receptor wholesome karma. Another unconsciousness as a receptor unwholesome karma. So there will be two types of unconsciousness. So the same thing, two types of ear consciousness. So when you hear pleasant sounds, is as a receptor kusala. When you hear unpleasant sound, as a receptor akusala. So in that way, so there will be two types of ear consciousness. Same thing, two types of nose consciousness, two types of tongue consciousness, two types of body consciousness. So actually, altogether, 10 sense consciousness. And also, we also have a two types of receiving consciousness. So when your mind receive unpleasant things, that is receiving consciousness as a receptor akusala karma. So when your mind receive pleasant things, that also another consciousness, receiving consciousness as a result of kusala karma. So two types of receiving consciousness. But we have a three type of advanced investigating consciousness. Investigating consciousness. So when your mind investigate unpleasant object, so that is as a result of akusala karma. So when your mind investigate pleasant good things, it can be two types of investigating consciousness. Normal good thing accompanied by equanimity. Extremely desirable and extremely good things, that is accompanied by joy. So altogether, we have three types of investigating consciousness. So here, determining consciousness is another name of the mind or advancing consciousness. So here, determining citta, not determining citta is not a how to say separate one. It is another name, another function of mind or process, mind or advancing consciousness. Then we have another one impassion chaitas or one javana chaitas called Hasitopada chaita, smile producing consciousness. So later we will talk about it. So I think when you see this mental process, and you can learn all 80 type of rootless consciousness. So we have two advancing consciousness, five-door advancing consciousness, mind-door advancing consciousness. And we have a 10 sense consciousness, two type of eye consciousness, two type of ear consciousness, two type of nose consciousness, tongue consciousness, and body consciousness. Altogether 10 sense consciousness. We have two type of receiving consciousness and three type of investigating. And you don't need to count determining. And we have one impassion chaitas, altogether 80. So I think even you just this learn mind process. So very easy, right? So I hope it may not be very difficult for you to go to 80 akusala chaita. So this is a mind or process. In the mind or process, after life continuum vibration, so you have a mind or advancing consciousness, mind or advancing consciousness. Then after that, the mind will experience the object fully. That's called impassion. Because in the mind or process, so we don't need receiving, investigating, determining. We don't need. After embodying advancing consciousness, then right away, the mind will experience the object. The mind will feel it. That is called impassion. Then after that, two type of retention chaitas. In the Bhikkhu Body book, Bhikkhu Body translate as a regestation chaitas. Two type of regestation chaitas. So you can look at page number 155, yeah? Your book, 155. Then you will see mind process. But regarding with existence continuance, Bhikkhu Body translate as a life continuum. So here, two retention chaitas. Bhikkhu Body translate as a two regestations. Actually, I'm prefer retention chaitas, because the mind trying to retain the object that impassion chaita take. Suppose impassion chaitas or javana chaita take the someone with the Y, And 2 retention citta also will take the same object, someone. So that is called retention. So altogether, this is a mind process. So all these one will be studied again. So when we go to the 4th chapter, mind process called VT. Okay, this is a mental process. So we are going to learn 80 Ahituka Cheda, 80 Ahituka Chedas. So that always arising in our mind, So we have a 7 Akusala Vipaka Cheda. Akusalami unwholesome, Vipakami resentant, and Chedami consciousness. So these 7 Chedas will arise as a result of unwholesome karma. If you have done unwholesome karma in the past, so you will experience all these unwholesome consequences. You will see unpleasant things, you will hear unpleasant sound, etc. So Jali, this is a very beautiful mental style, beautiful teachings in Abhidhamma. Another one is 8 Ahituka Kusala Vipaka Cheda. So for the first time, it will be it may not be familiar with your mind, but don't worry, if you are reading, it will be easier for you. So I think in some of the usage, it is better to use Pali word. It's easier to read and it easier to remember. Here, kusala, ahetukami rootless, rootless. Kusala, wholesome, vipaka, resultant, cheda, consciousness. So these 8 type of chedas will arise as a result of wholesome karma. If you have done wholesome things, good things in the past, so you will see good things, you will hear good songs, so you will experience good things. So that these are called 8 type of Ahituka Kusala Vipaka Cheda. Another one is called Ahituka Kriya Cheda. 3 Kriya Chedas. So Kriya me functioning. Actually, Kriya is similar to the karma. Karma also action, Kriya also action, but they have a different. Actually, Abhidhamma make it. Abhidhamma trying to differentiate between these 2 terms. Later, I will explain. How to say the difference between Kriya and karma. So we have a 3 Ahetuka Kriya Cheda. 3 rootless functional consciousness. Okay, so these are 80 Ahituka Chedas. So up to now, any question? Shia.
Yeah, good afternoon, Bhante.
Okay.
Bhante, this the current presentation, right? The slide. Number 1, actually, Bhante never put the Ahetuka Akusala Vipaka Citta.
Okay.
Isn't this one also rootless, right, Bhante?
Oh, okay. Because when we talk about unwholesome resultant chedas, there's only this kind. So we have only 7 chedas that arises as a result of wholesome karma. So there is no other akusala vipaka cheda, only in this place. But regarding with kusala and kriya, kusala and kriya. So there are other kusala vipaka citta and other kriya citta as well. So to differentiate with the other kusala vipaka and kriya citta, so we put ahetuka.
Okay, understood, Bhante.
Yeah, I think this is a good question, a relevant question.
Thank you, Bhante.
Okay, any question? If no question, let's continue. Okay, so 7 akusala vipaka citas, unwholesome resultant citas. So these citas are the result of unwholesome karmas, akusala karma. So after we have done unwholesome karma in the past, so you have all the result. It's called vipaka, result. So the object experienced by these citas are always unpleasant and undesirable. So actually it's quite natural when somebody have done unwholesome karma, so you will experience unwholesome things. So by that time, so you have all these 7 mental state. So the impact of the object on the first 4 sense faculties. Later we will study about 7 citas. And then the first 4. So that means eye, ear, nose, the 10. So the first 4 sense faculties is weak. So that's associated feeling is neutral or equanimity. So I think now I explain with the sentences, Number 1, unconsciousness accompanied by equanimity. Chakku vinyana citta. So after you have done unwholesome karma in the past, so the past can be in the past life, or 1 year ago, 1 month ago, even yesterday, yesterday. So after you have done unwholesome karma, you will see unpleasant things. Suppose if you are quarreling in the family, suppose yesterday you make a lot of unpleasant things, shouting, complaining to your family, then likely you will see unpleasant things, because shouting with anger and treating family members with unwholesome mental state, that is akusala karma. So as a result of akusala karma, then you will see unpleasant things, unpleasant faces, unpleasant faces. Then unpleasant behavior the family member will be doing. So that is because of akusala karma that you have done in the past. In the past, it can be sometime, it can be past life, 10 years ago, 1 year ago, 1 month ago, 1 day ago, and a few minutes ago, like this, That's called akusala karma that you have done in the past. Then after that, you will see unpleasant things. So when you see unpleasant things with your eye, so there will be one type of citta will arise. That's called unconsciousness, accompanied by equanimity as a result of akusala karma. So I always say that as a Singaporean, you see very beautiful things. Things that you see are beautiful. because of past karma. Because of past karma. And of course, you make a lot of effort to make your environment clean. And you obey rules and regulations laid down by the government. And you have a moral conduct, you have moral responsibility. You do not just throw away all the rubbish. Then you follow rules and regulations. So because of all these good things, and also most probably because of past karma, you was born in Singapore, and you see beautiful things that can be called unconsciousness accompanied by equanimity. So that is because of good karma. No? Here is a because of unwholesome karma, akusala karma. If you are seeing unpleasant things, bad things with your eye, then do not blame other people. Do not blame yourself. Just know that this is because of akusala karma that you may have done in the past, or in the 10 years ago, 1 year ago, 1 minute ago, etc. Right? So that is called unconsciousness accompanied by equanimity. According to Abhidhamma, so when unconsciousness arises in your mind, so it is not very strong. It's not very strong yet. You do not know the object yet. You just have unconsciousness. After that, the mind will receive. It's called receiving consciousness. Then the mind will investigating consciousness. Then determining consciousness. Only after that, impulsion or jhana. So your mind will experience fully. So by that time, after determining, so it will be wholesome or unwholesome karma will arise. Kusala and akusala karma. Actually, jhana are not mostly only one jhana cheda is called ahituka. The rest are not. So we have 55 jhana chedas. So they are very powerful chedas. So among 55, so we have learned 12 akusala chetas. 12 akusala chetas are called jhana. When they arise in your mind, they are very powerful, they are very strong. When you have a lobha, greedy mind, very strong. When you have a dosa, anger, very strong. So they are called jhana or impulsion. But here, according to Abhidhamma, so as soon as unconsciousness arises in your mind, it's not very powerful yet. Still weak. For that reason, accompanied by equanimity. Or neutral feeling. So we have basically we have five type of feeling. Joy, very powerful. Displeasure feeling, very powerful. And pain feeling, very powerful. And pleasure feeling, very powerful. But neutral feeling, equanimity is not very powerful. But of course, equanimity feeling in the jhanas and logora chetas, they are powerful. But in the sense sphere chetas, equanimity or neutral feeling is not powerful. Okay, so this is a unconsciousness accompanied by equanimity. Another one is ear consciousness accompanied by equanimity. Sota Vijnana Cheta. So this one, when you hear unpleasant sounds, undesirable sounds, because of akusala cheta, when you hear somebody criticize you, you will hear criticism, maybe because of akusala karma. It can be in the past life, this life. When somebody is shouting in your job or in your family, don't blame. You don't need to blame other people. Then you know that because of akusala karma. So you look at your mind. What have you done? What have you have done in the past? Also, it's important that you don't need to blame yourself as well. No need to blame others. No need to blame yourself. If you blame yourself, so that means you are harming to yourself. You're not very kind. You're not very compassionate to yourself. Not good. Don't blame others. That means you're blaming other people because you do not know you are akusala karma. So I think it's very beautiful mental state. So when you hear unpleasant sounds, ear consciousness will arise. It is arise because of akusala karma. No need to blame other people. No need to blame yourself. Just realize that you may have done akusala in the past. If you see akusala karma, and you're trying to change it, then that you hear, the sounds will be very pleasant. So actually, we call it echo, right? Echo. So the way we treat other people, and there will be echo, or vipaka, reset. So when we are treating other people nicely, then you will also treat it the same way. So they will use very pleasant speeches, and you will hear pleasant sounds. So for that reason, in the family members are not get well with each other. You will not hear pleasant songs, pleasant things. That's quite normal. It's quite natural. According to Buddhism, that is the law theory of karma. So by that time, no need to blame family members. No need to blame yourself as well. Just acknowledge this is because of akusala karma. So we can change. We can change our actions. So if we are changing in a better way, that will be kusala karma. As a result of kusala karma, things that you see, things that you hear will be pleasant. So that will be kusala vipaka cetas. Another one is nose consciousness accompanied by equanimity. Accompanied by equanimity. Suppose in your room, very messy, you do not clean your room. Smell is not good. Yeah? Smell is not good. So by that time, nose consciousness accompanied by equanimity as a result of unwholesome karma. You are lazy. Laziness is unwholesome mental state. So because of that unwholesome karma, you get a very bad smell in your room. That is called nose consciousness accompanied by equanimity. You clean your room, very nice, and you use a pleasant perfume, a very fragrant, a good fragrant perfume. So the room is very, how to say that, the smell is very nice in your nose, because you are not lazy, right? You clean your room, that is wholesome things. Then because of that, so the smell will be good, right? So for that reason, it can be two type. When you experience a bad smell, that will be this one. Nose consciousness accompanied by equanimity as a result of akusala karma. Another one is tongue consciousness accompanied by equanimity. If you are lazy to cook, then you just eat wherever you have. So the taste may not be good. By the time consciousness accompanied by equanimity, right? Because of laziness, ausangama. In some countries, in poor countries, the people do not have a good food. So some people, they even have to eat rotten food. So by that time consciousness accompanied by equanimity, as a result of ausangama. Ausangama that they have experience, they have done in the past. If you are eating a very good food, then you acknowledge your karma. Wow, I have done wholesome karma in the past life. That is as a result of kusala karma. Even in Singapore, some people may have a very excellent food, eating excellent food. Some people normal food, some people not very good food. But I think in Singapore very rare. So anyway, when you are eating unpleasant food, then a type of citta will arise. That is called time consciousness, accompanied by equanimity. That is because of akusala karma. That is called, we call it theory of karma, right? Theory of karma. So when we talk about karma, so there are many criteria. Or not just one past karma in our previous life. Of course, past karma in the previous life will determine an important role. But current karma, if you are doing a very good things in this life right now, and you can change it. You can change it. So your karma, you can change your karma bad to good. Time consciousness accompanied by equanimity. As I earlier said that the first four sense faculties, eye, ear, nose, the tongue. So according to Abhidhamma, so those mental state arises in those faculties are weak, not very strong at that moment. So for that reason, accompanied by equanimity or neutral feeling. But number 5, body consciousness accompanied by pain. So when you have a pain feeling in your body, so suppose somebody beat you, somebody slap you, or you experience a very cold weather or very hot weather with your body, very painful feeling, unpleasant feeling. Body consciousness accompanied by pain. So here the experience is very strong. No? When you experience fire with your body, you know that, how to say, the feeling will be very strong, right? Accompanied by pain. So here, I think we need to know that. Even though we are using the word feeling is not an emotional one. So feeling here means just sensation in your mind, in your body. Suppose when you see something, unpleasant things, unpleasant sensation will arise. Not only our mind, but also in the mind of the Buddha and Arahant. And the Buddha and Arahant also, they see unpleasant things. They hear unpleasant sounds. So by that time, in their mind, akusala vipaka citta will arise. Even in the minds of Arahant and the Buddha. So actually, for that reason, we experience every time. So just sensation. not an emotional feeling. And for enlightened people, like the Buddha Arahant, when they see unpleasant things, they don't have anger in their mind. They don't have unpleasant mental state in their mind. When they see unpleasant things, just know that unpleasant things. When they hear unpleasant sounds, they know that unpleasant sound. That's all. There's no unwholesome mental state in their mind. So for that reason, here when we talk about Vedana or feeling here, we indicate sensation in our mind, in our body. It's not a emotional aspect of mind. I think that is very important to know. Otherwise, you will get lost. Okay, this is a body consciousness accompanied by pain. So the first four sense faculties are weak. For that reason, accompanied by equanimity. Here, body consciousness, body faculties. So sensation is very strong. Just like when you experience fire in your body, that's very hot and painful feeling. That is just a sensation. For normal people, so when you experience fire with your body, then you will have a painful sensation, but followed by anger. Normally, we have a hatred or irritation in our mind after we experience painful feeling. But for enlightened people, they are very mindful. They just know painful feeling as a painful feeling. For that reason, not followed by unwholesome mental state. For that reason, those who are serious meditator, they are always, most of the time, they are mindful. They have a sampajana, clear comprehension. So wherever they experience, whether it's pleasant, unpleasant, or neutral, they are very mindful. They clearly know what they are experiencing. They clearly know all their sensations. So as they are very mindful and clear comprehension, so there's no place for unwholesome mental state, akusala chaitas. So for that reason, even though they experience painful feeling in their body because of some serious diseases, there's no anger in their mind. The painful experience will be there. For that reason, I like one of the wisdom bhikkhuni, Kema. She said that some people think that if we meditate seriously, the pain in our body will run away. People have a misunderstanding. If we meditate seriously, the pain in our body, painful experience here, body consciousness accompanied by pain, the pain will run away. People think that. She said that no, the pain will not run away, accompanied by pain. But only the passing will run away. They do not take their mind and body as I. Normally, when we experience painful things because of serious diseases, we take our mind and our body as I. I am painful. I am feeling painful. Because we have the idea of I. It's called Sakkaya Deity, identity view. Those who are very mindful and clear comprehending, So they do not take their mind and body as I. They just see as the body and the mind. Only the combination of body and mind. There's only two, mind and body. In their mind, there's no I. For that reason, they do not take painful feeling as I am feeling painful. They don't have the word I am. They know, of course, they have painful experience and painful feeling, but they do not take mind and body as I. They just know it painful feeling as a painful feeling, painful sensation, unpleasant sensation as a unpleasant sensation. That's all. That's all. They just know it. Knowing is wisdom. So that wisdom arises because of mindfulness. When mindfulness and clear comprehension arises in our mind, there's no place for akusala chetas. Akusala chetas. So here, what I want to point out here is whether you are normal person or whether you are enlightened one, enlightened person, Ariya Pogala, the painful, unpleasant feeling, neutral feeling will be there. No, you cannot avoid it because you have a body. Okay, here, body consciousness accompanied by pain. So when the Buddha have serious diseases in his body, he also have this state of mind. Body consciousness accompanied by pain. So before the Buddha died, the Buddha has diarrhea, right? Diarrhea. And this one, body consciousness accompanied by pain. Even the Buddha cannot avoid. So this is a theory of karma. Theory of karma. Then these are called eye consciousness, ear consciousness, nose consciousness, tongue consciousness, body consciousness. So this is because of akusala karma. Then after that, receiving consciousness, or here, the object impact on the body faculty is strong, and that's accompany feeling is bodily pain, dukkha. Then after that, receiving consciousness, accompanied by equanimity, investigating consciousness, accompanied by equanimity. So all these chetas, the receiving chetas and investigating chetas arise only in the five sense doors. Five sense doors, panchadvara, not in the mind door. So we have 6 doors: eye, ear, nose, the tongue, the body. So these are 5 sense doors. 5 sense doors. So receiving consciousness and investigating consciousness arises only in the 5 sense doors, not in the mind door. Not in the mind door. Actually, we have already learned. In the mind door process, there's no receiving consciousness, no investigating. So the mind do not need to receive, do not need to investigate. Right away, it will experience as soon as advancing consciousness. So the mind will experience. Now you are listening mind talk. Then as soon as your mind advance to other things, then your mind right away experience. Will feel it. Will feel it. So how to say the speed of the mind is very quick, very quick. No need receiving, no need investigating, no need determining. After, as soon as advancing consciousness arise, then right away, how to say that there is a impassion cheta, impassion cheta will arise, or chawana cheta will arise. So when you receive, when your mind have to receive unpleasant things, when your mind need to investigate unpleasant things, that is this one. as a result of unwholesome karma. So altogether, we have a 7 type of cettas that arises as a result of akusala karma. Akusala karma. So these 7 cettas will arise in the minds of everyone, including the Buddha and Arahant, let alone normal people like us. So actually, when we have these 7 cettas in our mind, at that moment, there's no lobha, no dosa, no moha, no alobha, adosa, amoha, no roots, no hetu. Suppose I will give you an example. When you see unpleasant people, right away, there's no lobha, there's no dosa, no moha, no alobha, no adosa, amoha. Only after you see unconsciousness, up to that moment, no root. No? Then receiving. So you receiving consciousness, investigating consciousness, then determining consciousness. Up to that level, so you don't have the root, lobha dosa moha, alobha adosa amoha. Only after determining cettas, so you will have a javana cetta, impartial cettas, a very powerful mental state in your mind. Then there's sometimes anger came in, sometimes greed came in. You see people, unpleasant people, anger came in. You hear unpleasant sounds, anger came in. And you see pleasant people, then greed may came in. Or beautiful mental state will came in. So only at the moment of javana, or impassion, kusala and akusala, the root, lobha dosa moha, alobha adosa amoha, will arise. So that kusala and akusala root will arise depend on your determination, how you determine, how your mind determines the object. That's important. So for that reason, the moment these 7 cettas arises, there's no lobha, no dosa, no moha, no alobha, no adosa, amoha. For that reason, we call it ahetuka cetta. No root at that moment. Any question up to now? 7 akusala vipaka cettas. Any question up to now? Chua.
Thank you, Bhante.
Okay.
I want to ask about physical feelings, because it seems to me that there's only painful and pleasant physical feeling. There's no neutral feeling. The only reason why neutral feeling arises is because the feeling is not strong enough. Is that true?
Yeah, you're right.
Okay, thank you.
Only two painful feeling will arise when you experience unpleasant physical contact with your body. And pleasure feeling will arise. Actually, feeling here is a state of mind. So that state of mind will arise when we experience pleasant things with our body. Only 2. The rest, sometimes neutral feeling, sometimes joy feeling, sometimes displeasure feeling. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Any question? If no question, I think it's quite clear. No question, then let's continue. 8 ahetuka kusala cetta. So actually, in when we talk about akusala vipaka cetta, there's no dawa ahetuka. You don't need to add, because there's only one akusala vipaka. only one place, only in this place. So there's no confusion. There's no confusion. But regarding with kusala vipaka, wholesome resultant, there are other wholesome resultant in other places. So that we are going to learn later. So to distinguish from other kusala vipaka, so we have to add the word ahituka. Ahituka. So these chaitas arise as a result of wholesome karma. Therefore, their objects are either desirable or extremely desirable. Extremely desirable. It's quite natural. After you have done good things, you will see good things, you will hear good things as a result of kusala karma. But you might think that I am trying my best. I am doing good things, but I still experience unpleasant things. You might think that it might be because of a strong past karma. So even by that time, no need to blame other people. No need to blame environment, right? Just experience, just acknowledge that because of kusala karma. So here two things. One can be desirable, one can be extremely desirable. Bhante, Bhante, Bhikkhu, Abhidhamma, can you wait for a while? Then I will come back. Let me finish this one first. So so actually the object will be desirable one, sometimes extremely desirable one. So this one, as I earlier said that to distinguish from sahetuka vipaka, wholesome resultant with the root. So the word ahetuka is added. So there are some kusala vipaka. So other than this one, so the rest of the kusala vipaka are with the root, Root here me, wholesome one, alopa, adosa, amoha. Because of that, to distinguish from them, so we have to add that ahituka, rootless. These 8 chaitas are rootless. So here, the investigating consciousness is divided into 2 types. One accompanied by neutral feeling in regard to desirable objects, normal good one. One accompanied by joy in regard to extremely desirable object. So when you experience normal object, neutral feeling. So when you experience extremely desirable one, when you're very beautiful one, very pleasant sounds. Oh, really? You cannot hear? Is it clear? Okay. So when you experience extremely desirable one, a very good one, that's called accompanied by joy. So other than that, the rest are okay. The rest are the same. Ahituka kusala vipaka chaitas. Unconsciousness accompanied by equanimity. When you see pleasant things, when you see very good people, when you see a very good environment, Then because of kusala karma, when you hear pleasant sounds, lovely speeches, some family, so they are treating each other with full of love and compassion. So what they're seeing also very pleasant, very pleasant. So very gentle. Some family not get along with each other, then complain, shouting, like this. You know, it's quite normal. It's quite normal. Telling lie and divisive speeches and harsh speeches. So all these are called akusala. Then when people are treating each other with the loving kindness and compassion, with the full of love, so the way they talk also very pleasant, very pleasant. Ear consciousness accompanied by equanimity. For that reason, I always say that. So the monks in the temple, normally we always see good people, because normally when people come to the temple, they are good. They're good. Even they are not good, they are pretending, pretending to be good. So anyway, we do not see how to say unpleasant people in the temple. Nobody is shouting. Nobody is complaining. So when they come to here, very gentle. So they show respect, because the monks here, they are doing good things. So quite the same. When you're treating people with a kindness and compassion in your job, then you will experience the same thing. But you need to persistence. You need to do persistently. You will see pleasant people and you will see pleasant sounds. Ear consciousness accompanied by equanimity. Then nose consciousness accompanied by equanimity. When you are smelling good things, nose consciousness accompanied by equanimity. Then tongue consciousness accompanied by equanimity. So when you're eating a good food, because of good karma. Some people, they make a lot of effort to cook. They spend a lot of time to cook. Then as a result, then they will eat good things, right? Good things. A family member also will do good things. We have to eat good things. When you get married, lazy housewife, likely you will not have to eat good one. So anyway, this is we can see everywhere, everywhere. Time consciousness accompanied by equanimity, body consciousness accompanied by pleasure, sukha. Body consciousness accompanied by pleasure. So these are 5 physical doors. Then receiving consciousness. As a result of kusala karma, thing that you receive, then your mind receive also good. Receiving consciousness accompanied by equanimity. So as we earlier said that there will be 2 types of investigating consciousness. One accompanied by joy. So when your mind is investigating extremely desirable object. Another one is investigating consciousness accompanied by equanimity. So when your mind investigating normal desirable object, so that will be accompanied by equanimity. So these are called 8 ahituka kusala vipaka chaitas, wholesome resultant. So actually, when we look up to now, when we look at unwholesome resultant and wholesome resultant, we can understand that this karma theory is karma theory. So I think everyone can understand with even with common sense. So the thing what we can do is we change our action. If we are doing good things that we experience also will be good. When we are doing bad things, creating akusala karma, then things that we experience also will be unwholesome resultant. Theory of karma. Okay, question. Bhante people nhớ. No question. Then if no question, let's. Oh, okay. Okay, Bhante.
Yes, good evening, Sedo. Can you hear my sound?
Oh yeah,
My
I
voice?
hear you. Yeah, I hear you.
Yes. Yeah, I just want to ask about the Ahetuka Kusala Vipaka Citta, and then about jump to the Mahavipaka Citta that we
Oh yeah.
have, right?
Mm.
What's the difference, Sayadaw? Because what I know is like Ahetuka is without root, the Mahavipaka is with the root, Sahetuka. So can you explain some more? Thank you.
Okay, actually, I think we only after we study Mahavipaka Cheda, I think it's better to explain, Bhante.
Okay, thank
Because
you.
if I explain right now, for new people, newcomer, they will not know.
Okay.
So basically, of course, with the root and without root, Mahavipaka normally as a result of kusala karma. So actually, we always say that this is a how to say same karma and same effect. So when you are doing kusala karma with the joy, and the result, Mahavipaka also accompanied by joy. So same kusala, same vipaka. But here, ahetuka kusala vipaka. You do wholesome things, good things, but not the same, not similar, how to say that? Not similar result. But in Mahavipaka, you do good things accompanied by joy, and the result also will be accompanied by joy. So the same kusala, same vipaka. But here, it's also the same. The result also good, but not similar one. So I think when we talk about Mahavipaka, I will talk about okay.
Okay, thank you, Seda.
Maybe if I forgot, just remind me, Bhante.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you. Any question? Eri Helen.
Good afternoon, Bhante.
Yeah.
Looking at the slides, I'm interested on the words they accompanied by joy or accompanied by equanimity. So is the joy or equanimity is actually part of the determining citta in the Rupert Gertin's chart just now?
Sorry, part of?
Part of the, if just now there was a slide on the chart of how the senses doors is responding.
Yeah.
So when you say accompanied by joy or accompanied by equanimity, so this joy and equanimity, is it part of that determining citta?
No. Only after investigating, determining citta will arise. So actually, it's not because of determining citta. Our mind determine, not because of that. According to Abhidhamma, it is natural process. So when we see pleasant things, normal pleasant things, we are not too much interest, accompanied by our feeling. In our minds, not very obvious. So by that time, accompanied by neutral feeling or equanimity. So when we experience, when our mind, when we experience extremely beautiful things, extremely exciting sounds, extremely good food, then as the nature of the mind, so the mind will investigate things that we experience, that we experience with the joy, Only after that, determining data will arise. So this is a natural process. So the mind will investigate with the neutral feeling or equanimous feeling in normal things. When we are eating normal food, when we are meeting with the normal people, which are very nice, which are nice. So when we are seeing extremely beautiful people, extremely a beautiful smell, etc. So the mind naturally accompanied by joy. Only after that, determining data will arise. Then after determining data, javana. And then from now, I will use the word Pali, javana. Javana means only you experience the object fully with the force, with the power of the mind, with the force. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Then Jasmine Yeo. Jasmine.
Hi, Bhante. Can I just check with you when you say equanimity? You are saying that this is a state where it's a neutral mind and it's a very fast reaction. Is this how we explain equanimity here?
Yeah. Equanimity is you are sensation is not quite obvious, not very clear. Neutral state of mind, as I earlier said, that when we see normal people in our life, so actually they are pleasant, good looking, but not very good looking. Then suppose when you are seeing even the same person, sometimes accompanied by joy, sometimes accompanied by equanimity. So this is we call it natural process. So the mind is safe. So when we experience pleasant things, normal pleasant things, our feeling is not very obvious, not very clear, just normal feeling. So neutral one or equanimous feeling. Then when we experience extremely good things, then naturally our mind accompanied by joy. But this joy is not similar to excitement. Sometimes we are feeling joyful with a lot of excitement. As I earlier said, that this is a just sensation in our mind.
Okay.
Okay. So thank you. Aku. Hello, Aku.
Hello, Namaste, Bhante.
Yeah.
Suppose that somebody shot at another person and that person responds with hitting him. So this pain feeling in the body is akusala vipaka, Bhante.
Yeah.
Whether we can determine that vipaka is the result of shouting or because of past actions that this person has done, Bhante?
Because of past karma. It can be in your past life, or as I earlier said, that 10 years ago, 1 year ago, 1 month ago, you treated him with the unwholesome mental state. So because of that, as a result of akusala karma, he shout you. So that is because of past karma. But here, So he will shout at you. That is, of course, akusala vipaka cheda. Then your mind will receiving consciousness, investigating consciousness, determining consciousness. Then if your mind is determined in the right way, then there will be no anger. No anger. Even though thing that you hear is unpleasant, then javana, in the javana state, you can change it. You can change it. When you're mindful, you know clear comprehension, then you know that this is he is shouting at you. Because of that you have done in the past, then you're very mindful. Then you are not shouting back. You are not responding the same way. Then you listen very calmly, and you do not respond with the anger, no anger. Then after determining wholesome javana, kusala kama. So we can change our action. Then you are not beating that person back.
Yeah, I understand, but in what I mean like this, I shot at someone.
Or you shout at someone.
I shot at someone, and then that person hit me.
Oh, sorry. Okay, that person hit you, right?
The body consciousness, body consciousness I receive is it's akusala vipaka.
Yeah.
But what I ask is whether the result of this hitting, because I shot or because I had done some other action in the past.
Okay. Because you are shouting.
Yeah.
You are using unpleasant speeches. That is akusala kama, right? Akusala kama. So because of that akusala kama, he beat you.
Yeah.
Then painful
This is my
feeling.
question, whether the actions that I shot at him can bear a result in a very short moment or not, Bhante. So it means I shot, maybe 3 seconds later he hit me. Whether this shouting can bear the fruits in a very short time or not, Bhante, or
it depends.
Hit me because of past action that I have done.
It depends. Sometimes, even though our parents are shouting at, right? Sometimes, so that shouting or akusala kama will not bear fruit right away, right? But in later time, it will manifest, just like the children will not listen to you, or he will show unpleasant facial expression, etc. But in this case, you are shouting the person, that's akusala kama. As a result, he will beat you. And you have a painful feeling in your body. That is akusala vipaka. But maybe because of akusala kama were reinforced. Maybe it can be akusala kama in the past and combine current akusala kama. Then you're shouting. Yeah. So for that reason, it can be we just normally use past karma. It can be in previous life, or it can be this life. Even 1 minute ago or 3 seconds ago, like this.
Okay, Bhante. Thank you.
Okay, you can. After you ask question, please lower down the hand. Okay. See how.
Okay. Yeah, Bhante.
Yeah.
I would like to ask regarding the investigating consciousness for akusala. Because from what I know, akusala, you mentioned that the body consciousness is stronger than the other 5 sense door. So why is it so that for akusala, there's no accompanied by maybe displeasure for the investigating? Since for kusala, there's a joy, accompanied by joy and equanimity. So akusala, there's only one. There's equanimity, but no like accompanied by displeasure or something like this. Yeah, I just want to clarify in case someone asks me next time.
Sorry that I do not have I do not have a answer for that one because I think there may be answer in the commentary or this Abhidhamma's sub-commentaries, but I haven't read yet. So
okay.
Normally we just answer this is a mind process. So according to Abhidhamma, of course, that will be in this way, not the other way. So when we experience, as you said, that we can even add accompanied by displeasure, accompanied by displeasure.
For the akusala.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so this will be the last question. Mehu. Hello.
Hi, Bhante.
Okay.
Yeah, I just want to ask, so you mentioned about karma affecting all these experiences. So I just want to ask if, do we look at it that this bad experience that we get is from the same person, whether is it in the present life or in the previous life? So for example, if I did something bad to this person, so just now in the example, you shout at that person, you may get hit because of your shouting or some probably past actions that you have done to the same person. But does that also mean that in the past life for that same person, you do bad things, that's why you're getting the bad experiences from that same person? Or it can be your karma from another person, from the bad things that you've done to another person?
It can be both. Because some people are not pleasant looking. When we see such people, naturally we don't feel good. Maybe such one because of past karma. But in this case, if you are shouting a person, then he will respond in a bad way, even a hitting or beating. That is because of present karma, shouting. So I think we cannot say for sure that is because of the karma in our past life or that's karma in our current life. So we cannot say for sure. It will depends on situation. As I earlier said that some people, even we look at them, so they are unpleasant. So we don't our mental expression in them is not very good because of past karma. Some people, as soon as you saw them, then we feel good. So we feel very happy. That's because of past karma. Even a small baby, some are lovely, some are not. Maybe because of past karma. So as I earlier said that we cannot say for sure. It can be combination of past karma in the past life or the past karma in this life. Or it can be only one. Okay, so thank you for all questions. Then let's move to next one. So we have a 7 akusala vipaka cheda, 7 unwholesome resultant chedas, and 8 ahituka kusala vipaka chedas, 8 rootless wholesome resultant. All these talk about theory of karma. Next one is called ahituka kriya chedas. To distinguish from sahetuka kriya cheta, functional citta with the root. So the word rootless, ahituka, is added here. So the same thing, same thing. So there are other kriya cittas. So to distinguish from them, we add ahituka, the word ahituka. Functional consciousness, kriya citta, just as its function. So there's no karma formation. There's no karma formation or karmic power in it. Karmic power in it. So actually here, as I earlier said that, so the word karma means action. So normally we do good action and bad action. Good karma, bad karma. But here regarding with the kriya. So in the Pali Canon, in some suttas, so the word karma and the word kriya are used as a synonym, So the Buddha said that he is karmavadi, the speaker of the karma, and he is a kriyavadi, the speaker of the action, the speaker of the action. So in those places, kriya and karma are the same. They are synonym, just meaning action. When somebody does something, that's called karma or kriya. But according to Abhidhamma, so karma and kriya are not the same, different. Kriya is just functioning, It just function. So when we are doing unwholesome things, because of lobha, dosa, moha. So when we are doing wholesome things, because of lobha, dosa, moha. If that lobha, dosa, moha are accompanied by craving or ignorance and craving, avijja and tanha, ignorance and craving. So such one is called kusala karma. Then wholesome things, if somebody is doing wholesome things, not accompanied by ignorance and craving, such actions is called kriya, functioning. Normally, kriya cittas are the mind. Kriya citta normally arise in the minds of Arahant and the Buddha. Because when Arahant and the Buddha, when they are doing something, when they are speaking, when they are doing with their body, with their thinking, there's no ignorance. There's no delusion in their mind. There's no craving in their mind. So for that reason, so their actions and their activities are called kriya, functional mind. So Abhidhamma make it different between karma and kriya. In the Sutta Pitaka, in the Suttas, so the meaning of karma and kriya are the same. But Abhidhamma make it different. As I earlier said that, so you are doing good things, dana, sila, bhavana, and Arahant also doing good things, dana, sila, bhavana. But mostly our mind is accompanied by ignorance, driven by ignorance and craving. So for that reason, our activities and our actions are called karma in Abhidhamma. But the activities, so Arahant and the Buddha also, they do good things. They do dana, they do sila, they do bhavana. Not driven by ignorance. So the opposite of ignorance is wisdom. So their activity is always driven by wisdom. Craving. Craving is another name for lobha and dosa. So when the Buddha and Arahant, when they are doing something, when they are speaking, so their activity is not motivated by either lower or dorsal, So that is, for that reason, their activities and their actions are called kriya. Normally we call it functional consciousness, functional mind. Okay, I think in the next lessons, or when we talk about kriya chetas with the root, then I will explain a little bit detail because it is good to know. Normally, karma, hear me, a good, akusala karma, quite clear, driven by lower dosa moha. Kusala karma, good things, a good karma, good action can be two kinds according to Abhidhamma. Karma and kriya. Karma is the main cause of karma is driven by, motivated by lower dosa moha. That can be called karma. Even though you're doing good things, it's called karma. But if you're doing good things, motivated by wisdom, no ignorance, and no loba, no dosa, that can be called kriya, according to Abhidhamma. We translate as a functional consciousness. It just functions. So here we have a 20 kriya chetas. 20 kriya chetas. Among them, only 2 functional chetas arise in everyone, including us, including Puthojana. And the rest of the 80 kriya cheta will arise in the minds of Arahant and the Buddha, purely in the minds of Arahant and the Buddha. So I think we will have to learn later. So for the time being, so we have 3 Ahituka kriya chetas, rootless functional chetas. So the first one is 5 sense door advancing consciousness, accompanied by equanimity. So this one, even though it is called kriya chetas, it arises in everyone, including normal people. It arises everyone, including the Buddha. As I earlier explained, in the mental process, in the mind process, then bhavanga flow. Then when our senses have contact with outside object, the bhavanga will vibrate. Then the mind will turn to that object, the object that we see. So when we see with the eye, that is called 5-door advancing consciousness. Ear, nose, tongue, the body. In the 5 physical doors, so if the mind function, opening the door, actually is it just figuratively, I will use the word opening the door. So it just opened the door. It just do its function. For that reason, we call it kriya chetas. As soon as the bhavanga vibrate, it will open the door. Eye door, ear door, nose door, tongue door, and body door. For that reason, we call it 5 sense door advancing consciousness, or 5-door advancing consciousness. It can be divided into 2 words. Panchadvara, 5 doors. 5 door here mean eye, ear, nose, tongue, and body. Avajana mean turning or advancing. So advancing to the object. adverting to the object. So that means our mind advert to the object. Advert to the object. So figuratively, we can say that open the door. So the mind just open the door to see the things, to hear the song, etc. So that is called five-door adverting consciousness. Five-door adverting consciousness, accompanied by equanimity. So by that time, the sensation is not quite clear yet, not obvious yet. For that reason, accompanied by equanimity. Another one is called mind door adverting consciousness, accompanied by equanimity. So in the mind door, so these chaitas just function opening the door. So mind door adverting consciousness just advert the mind to the object. So this chaita does two functions. Number one, determining the object. So in the mind process, we have bhavanga and vibrational bhavanga, adverting consciousness, or suppose eyeing consciousness, receiving consciousness, investigating consciousness, determining consciousness. Actually here, there is no separate determining chaitas. It is another name of the mind door adverting consciousness. So in the third chapter, we will have to learn. So mind door adverting consciousness do two functions. One is adverting, another one is determining. Another one is determining, turning the mind toward the object, avajana. Determining the object, that's utavana. Two functions. In the mind process, you will see that determining chaitas. Determining is nothing but mind door adverting consciousness. Okay. Next one is mind producing consciousness. Mind producing consciousness, accompanied by joy. Mind producing. This chaita causes the arahants to smile. Arahant to smile. In Chittavara, when we talk about arahants, so there are three types of arahants: disciple arahants, and Pachika Buddha, and the Buddhas. Even the Gautama Buddha is called arahant. So actually, this is according to Chittavara. Actually, in the Pali Canon, so the Buddha is used as one of the arahant. But of course, there is a difference between the Buddha and normal disciple arahants. So the Buddha showed the way, the disciple arahant follows it. So here, smile producing consciousness. Normally, we smile because of many reasons. Sometimes because of lobha, sometimes because of kusala. But arahant and the Buddha, they smile because with the five type of chaitas. So one of them is smile producing consciousness. So this is a smile producing consciousness involve adipati, yet this adipati is not karmically determinate because there's no ignorance and craving when arahant is smiling. So actually, we don't have enough time to give example why we use smile producing consciousness. Maybe in next coming Monday, then I will explain in further detail so that you know why we are using smile producing consciousness. as I earlier said that we have, according to Abhidhamma, arahants may smile with one of the 5 chaitas. So one of them is smile producing chaita, this one, and another 4 beautiful sincere functional chaitas. So for altogether, we have 5 sense door, 5 door advancing consciousness, accompanied by equanimity, mind door advancing consciousness, accompanied by equanimity, smile producing consciousness, accompanied by joy. So for regarding with the last one, then I will explain on Monday. So these are altogether, these are Ahituka Kriya Chaitas. So they just functions. They just functions. So behind these functions, there's no root. There's no lobha, dosa, moha. There's no alobha, adosa, amoha. So for that reason, we call Ahituka, rootless. Any question? Because our time we're in 6:50, so we extended another 50 minutes. I know that it is a little bit longer, but I want to explain a little bit details, and also I want to have some discussion with the students so that you can clarify, you can clear all your doubt. Then I'll also have a little bit only the further explanation on the subject. I hope it will be very fruitful. For that reason, I extended another 50 minutes. Any question? Okay, we have 2 minutes. So we have to finish within 2 minutes. Okay, Ari Helen.
Hi, Bhante, talking about Bhavanga, I mean, can those 5 sense, those cheetahs rise at the same time, or is it one by one?
Sorry, which one? 5?
Yeah, the 5 sense, those cheetah.
Oh, yeah.
Can it rise more than one at the same time?
No. Any type of, according to Abhidhamma, any type of chaitas, only one mind movement will arise at a time. So for that reason, we have a series of mind movement. Bhavanga, vibration and Bhavanga. Then after that, arrest Bhavanga. Then after that, 5 door advancing consciousness. Then unconsciousness. After that, receiving consciousness. It goes like this, one after another. So they arise in a particular moment.
But for example, at the same time, if we see something, objects which is pleasant looking, and at the same time produce very nice songs, isn't it like these 2 different senses are actually coming together?
No, not the same.
Not the same.
Yeah, because according to Buddhist psychology, when you're watching a movie or listening music, watching a movie, you hear the people are acting in the movie, and you also hear the song, right? Normally within that, it arises at the same time. No, according to Abhidhamma, it's not like this. So within 1 minute, so many mind movement will arise according to Abhidhamma. So for that reason, so when you see a movie, there will be a lot of indoor mental process. Not only one indoor mental process, there will be a lot within 1 minute. Then there will be followed by ear consciousness. Then after that, mind or consciousness, mind or mental process. So there will be a lot of mental process happening, one after another. We didn't notice. But when you are very mindful, when you are deeply when you have a very deep mindfulness and concentrations, and you can observe a little bit better. So you were even think that you are mental state getting slower. Actually, your mental state not getting slower, it's going normal, but because of mindfulness, you observe everything clearly. So here, the point here is, even though you're watching movie, only one mind movement will arise at a time. So indoor mental process, then finish, then followed by mind door, a lot of mind door process, mind door mental process. Then after that, ear door mental process, mind process, then followed by a mind door process, a lot of mind door process. So equal like this. So I think when we land in the 4th chapter, I think we will know it better. Okay, so thank you so much. So time is up. Let's call it a day. Bhante, so sorry that maybe we'll discuss later. Let's finish our lessons. Yo varadam bhavaro manu jesu sakya muni bhagavakata kecho paragato bala vidiya samangi dan sukatan saranatamu pemi ragawi ragamani jamasokan dhamma masangata mapati kulan marura
Mami paku angsu
dan dhamma miman saranatamu pemi yata cha dinamaha palamahu chatusu susi supuri sayugesu atacha pogalata mata sate sangha miman saranatamu pemi. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Thank you and see you on Monday.